back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG. It's located on the east spawn of Airfield under the command of talon1958. And we've got no sound. Oh dear. Let's restart this battle rather quickly. And hopefully this time we'll get sound. Yep, we've got engine noises. Okay. Well, it's Talon, and he's in another contest with Angelina, and the next two videos are focusing on their contest this week. Talon started off with a game in the GW Panther, and we're off. Well, the GW Panther, it's got a 15cm howitzer mounted on a Panther hull, and it's capable of doing 600 alpha. Now, it looks like he's going to go down to the south coast. There are loads of firing positions over here which are actually quite useful because you can actually get shots on the enemy up in the heavy tank alley and do a lot of damage to them. You just need to keep moving about quite a bit because otherwise the enemy might get wise to where you are and they might decide to take action about it. Okay, we've got a setter, managed to get into the bushes on the far side of Temple Mount, lining up a shot. He's moving about a bit. He just took a hit from our teammate. Round out. Well, some hit points, but not a lot. And I think we just saw the tracer coming from one of the enemy arties. They've got an M12 and two M44s. And, well, we just saw another tracer coming in. And it looks like one of them might be coming in this direction. But it might be the Hellcat that's actually attracting the fire rather than Talon. Okay, he's moved position to avoid counter battery. Standard reload 25.89 seconds, and Talon's probably got about 20. He fired that one in blind on the off chance he might get the enemy, but it didn't come off. Again, we can see where the enemy Arty is coming from. He's coming from those bushes. Yep, he's hiding in the bushes at the back. And of course that will make it fairly easy for Talon to get a counter battery on him. He's just given away his position. Rounds out. Oh, he just got him! He just took out an M44. Well done. Excellent shot. And he's changing position straight away to avoid any enemy counter fire. Okay, we just saw a tracer coming from the south end as the of the map as well, and the southwest corner. So it looks like another Arty's over there, but at the moment we're putting fire onto the AMX1357 who's hiding up in that corner. Rounds out. Nice shot. Now what Talon's doing is he's maximising his firepower by firing as soon as there's a shell ready, as soon as he's dialed in on the enemy, and that really does help because it means more enemy tanks can be struck and that gives you a better chance of getting a Confederate. He's loaded. Getting ready, rounds out, looks good. It is good. 142 off the VK4503 and he got some stun assist. So he's really working this Arty as hard as he can. He's had ace tankers in this Arty before and he knows how to do it. And now he's looking at an Object 244 in the heavy tank pass. Now can he get a shot on this guy? Rounds out. Landed near him. And look, the AMX1357 just got hit by our one of our Artys. I would say actually it was probably the AMX13F3AM who got a shot at him there because he's up on the mount normally used for tank destroyers. And look who's turned up, it's that VK4503 again, rounds out, lands just behind him but it stuns him and that makes him vulnerable and loads of stun assist. So that really worked. Even though he only stunned the guy, he's getting points off him. Make at maximum use of your firepower. That guy was tracked for a moment. He probably hasn't got a repair kit now. And now he's been stunned. Again, Talon's moving about, relocating, making it really difficult for the enemy to get shots at him. It really does help, honestly. Looking around for his next target. There's nothing in sight at the moment. He's dialing in on the corner where the Hellcat was last seen. He's hoping he might be able to get something on there, but, well, we just saw the tracer from an enemy Arty coming from this direction, and it might be that he's actually behind that bush. So, yeah, he's going to fire around in and see if he can upset somebody. And it looked like there was Tracer coming out of that bush, so I think he actually did fire in the right direction. I would not be surprised to see 2 Arty listed on his score list at the end of the game. Oh, that Hellcat just got clobbered. And Talon got the kill! Oh my gum, he just got him! So our teammate in the other Arty, I think it was the M44, fired around in there, damaged the guy, and then Talon followed it up and he got the kill. Which means now he's definitely got 2 Arties, maybe 3 actually listed, damaged. But he's really maximising his firepower, which really does help. Honestly, I can tell you, that's how I end up with so many medals on playing this game. Just smacking the enemy as much as you can. Makes it much easier for your teammates to get the kill. Now he's using that rock for good cover. It does kind of stop him from shooting to the south, but he can fire to the north. And there's plenty of targets up in the north at the moment. He's just spotted that Hellcat who just got clobbered. Now he's dialing in, but that Hellcat's probably going to move, but he wants to get a shot on this guy. I didn't even say fire now, but he fires, and yes, he gets some hit points. So it worked. Another 109. He wants that kill, but in actual fact it goes to the M44, and that's the second time those 2 Arties have been working together in tandem. It really does work, honestly. This is why it's so useful to use the T key to actually indicate which target you're firing at. You just noticed one of the enemy Arties up in this corner. There's 2 Arty, M12 and the M44 still alive, and I think it is the M12 that he was firing at. Again, just changing position just slightly. That's all you need, enough to throw them off. We're doing rather well. We're 3 up on the enemy at the moment, and I think the Arty's had a major contribution, because after all, Talon's got 2 and the M44's got 1. So they've got 3 kills. 1/3 of the enemy team has been taken out by them so far. He's now looking at the Leo or the T-34. The T-34's a little more difficult to hit, but somebody definitely fired out of these bushes, and Talon's firing one back in. If there was somebody in those bushes, and I think there was, then he's been right royally upset, and he'll be looking to try and return around this direction. But of course Talon is moving to make it more difficult for them to return. Okay, he's looking for that T-3485 of the Leo. We just saw Tracer coming out from that bush. So it looks like the enemy Arty is trying to get to return fire, but he's just not going to find Talon after Talon keeps moving. Talon fires one into the bush just in case the M12's there. He's going to change position now. Something you can do under these circumstances, where you're having a counter-battery battle, you can knock down trees artificially and then go and hide somewhere else. And it makes the enemy think you're actually hiding in the bushes, when of course you're not. So you can fool the enemy into thinking you're somewhere you're not. Now you can't get a shot on that setter at the moment. The enemy's down to just 6 tanks left, including 2 Arty, so that setter's one of the enemy. Trouble is now we're only 1 up on the enemy, and there's the enemy Arty having a go, and oh, our Strib just got taken out by that setter, and the setter's running to try and kill the Nashorn, but he didn't. The Nashorn got him in return. But unfortunately, we just lost the AT-15A to the M44, so now it's all equal, except the enemy is down by 1 Arty. We've got still got 3. Talon fires around in, really trying to upset that guy. Now the Leo and the T-3485M are on the simple mount, so he needs to be aware of that. And oh, we've just spotted the Dicamax. That's a good target, thin armor, but he has to stay still in order to shoot. Talon fires one in, accurate, and if the Dicamax was still in splash zone, and I think he probably was, he got some damage off that one as well. Now again, relocating. What a name for an Arty, Little Fuzzy Bunny. That's a good one. we've seen some great names actually playing in the game. A lot of members of What Arty Noobs have got great names as well. Always nice to see one which brings a laugh to your face. Okay, Arty just fired, and yeah, he fired in this direction, which kind of indicates that they might have an inkling of where Talon is. And I'm not so sure they did actually see him. I think it's more of a case that the enemy was guessing that he was over here. But unfortunately now the enemy does have an advantage because they've got 3 tanks still in the game and 2 Arty, whereas we've only got 1 light tank, which of course is that Wizzy131, and 3 Arty. But even with 1 light tank and 3 Arty, that light tank spotting for the team, he can rack up a lot of spotting assist if he can keep the enemy tanks in his eyes and then let us get the shots on the enemy as they appear. Now for the moment, most of the enemy tanks have gone missing. Well, there's one. The Leo's just turned up on top of the hill, and also with the T-3485. Oh, kill shot! He fired the shell through the gap and took out the T-3485M. Now he's moving to try and get out of sight of that Leo, who might be trying to poke round the corner and poke through the gap and shoot. Oh, Talon's been spotted and he's been hit by the Leo, but he's not dead yet and he's not out of the game yet. Now the enemy Arty might try to fire one in his direction, but it's now 3 left on either side. That Leo's still there. He's getting close to the cap and the M44 is trying to go after him. Oh, we lost the Wizzy131. Talon's trying to get a shot on that Leo. Unfortunately, he's gone back up on top of the hill. Now, get ready. He's going to go for the gap. Is he going for the gap? No! And the M44 fired his shotgun and he missed. Now, can Talon fire it? Yes, he gets a hit. 132, but now he's in reload. And we lost the M44. So Talon's now all on his own against 3 enemies, including that Leo. And I have a feeling that Dickermax is probably still making his way up this direction, but I don't think it'll be long before he turns up. Well, he's decided to go shotgun. He's going to try and find the enemy and shoot them in the face. And he's found the Leo. Now, use the corner. Oh, he's overcooked it, but will he survive? Well, he gets a big hit into the Leo, but the kill shot comes in from the M12. And that's the end of the game. So, good fight. Well, here's the end of the first battle, and we can see that, yes, it was a defeat, but it was a third-class tanker for talon1958 in the GW Panther. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13. And he got a high win rate off that one, 2,706, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he got the highest damage on his team, but not the highest damage overall. The T-3485M that he took out towards the end, he got a high caliber and 2,516 hit points. So he did have 20% of the enemy hit pool, but he got wiped out by Talon, who got a fantastic shot firing through the gap into the T-3485, and it hit the engine deck, I think, and that wiped him out. The next highest damage was to Talon with 1,922, and the third highest damage went to the enemy M44, got 1,679. If we look at kills, we can see that the highest number was the Leo. He got 4 kills in that game. 3 kills went to the Talon, to the Nashorn, and to the T-3485M. And when it came to base XP, it's the T-3485M who did the best with 1,423. So he's the only player to get over 1,000. The Leo managed 848 and the M44 managed 744. Let's have a look at the detail before we look at the personal score again. 21 shots fired, 5 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetration. Now, who did he actually penetrate during that game? I'm pretty sure that it was one of the enemy Arty. Yes, it was the M44. That was the one that was hiding in the bushes, and he did take him out. He got a direct hit on him, and he was out the game. I think he did hit the other Artys in the game. Well, he hit the M44 and he did fire at the M12, but he didn't actually hit him. The M12 hit him in return. So maybe he had the wrong side of the cliff when he was firing at the M12. But he definitely hit 2 of the Arty, and he tried to go after the 3rd. He also got 19 splashes on the enemy, 1,922 hit points of damage, of which 1,397 were at more than 300 meters, so a fair amount of damage was done at close range. He received 3 hits, 2 of which penetrated 1 splash. The splash was the one that killed him in the end. He received 2 hits, 2 from the Leo, and of course the M44 got the kill in the end. Or was it the M12 got the kill? Sorry. 11 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, 545 hit points of stun assist off 15 stuns. He earned 33,030 credits from the game, 55,000 for completing a mission, 88,030 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 59,874 credits profit. That's quite a good score for a losing game. 858 XP, no multipliers because of course it was a loss, so that's all he took away in XP. So yes, that was actually quite a good game. It's just a pity it ended up being a loss because all of a sudden all of his team just fell apart and it was just left with 3 RTs and 1 little light tank to spot for them. Yes, they could have succeeded if that light tank had been in the right spot, but it wasn't, unfortunately. So they weren't getting good spotting on the enemy as they were approaching. And the first team knew that the enemy was close was then they were really right on top of them, up on top of that hill. But he did manage to do something about it by putting a round into the T-34-85M and taking out the enemy's best player. Let's have a look at the second battle and see if Angelina can bet her Talon. The second game in our video is on the Cliff map and it's in the 212A under Angelina75. Game on! Well, we're having to run this game without mods, I'm afraid, because for some reason they won't give us the mini-map on the page. So, yes, it's not working properly. So somebody needs to give Aslains a bit of a nudge, because although they are loading to my computer, they're not working as they should. At least we either do get the mods and no sound, or we get sound and no mods. So maybe something needs to be done about that. Okay, Angelina's gone over to her usual position and she's trying to get a quick shot on that Scorpion. Almost fully dialed in, rounds out. Lovely hit, and it's a pen shot. She penned him for 855 and he goes down immediately afterwards. So she picked up all the stun assist off that one. That was an incredibly good opening shot. And I think we just saw the location of one of the enemy RT. He's next to the house in the bushes at the back near the cap area. Well, the 212A's got a 203mm howitzer, or at least this one does. The B4 howitzer, capable of 900 alpha, and it'll penetrate through 52mm of armour, and I think Angelina definitely penetrated that Scorpion, no trouble at all. But I'm afraid she's not going to be loaded by the time these guys get into our guys. So Angelina's might be able to get a kill shot off them, but by the time our teammates have done with them, they'll be mostly out of hit points. Yeah, they're all out. So that was a bit of a waste. But Angelina's got plenty of other targets she can aim at, and she's now looking for them. Got a Panther 88 up on the hill next to the houses. Rounds out. Oh, perfect kill shot. Lovely, 121. It was fully dialed in, no trouble with that whatsoever. That was lovely. So she's definitely getting the damage. 976 hit points already. But then this is a tier 9 Soviet SPG, so it is capable of doing a huge amount. If you get a really good game, you can rack up as much as 4,000, 5,000 damage with this Arty. It's been done. Not that often, but it has been done. I've done it. You just rack up the damage at a phenomenal rate. And that was a good shot. It was a near miss for 389. Now, one of the good things about this Arty is you get plenty of ammunition. 40 rounds in total to play with. And that does make a big difference because it increases the possibilities With the Object 261, you don't get as many rounds, only 20, so of course you do tend to run out. But Angelina's not going to run out with these guys, and she's trying to line that one up. The Batchat 25 ton. He's making a quick getaway. She's lining up a shot ahead of him. Fires in. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit the target, but he does get stunned by the other Arty on our team, the school bus, the SU-14-2. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it, and because Angelina's mid-tier, she can earn extra percentage for hitting higher tier opponents. She's lining up a shot, the Skoda dies before she can fire. Trying to see if she can get a shot on that 122 TM. I think it's too close to the columns. Rounds out. Yep, hit the columns. You have to try and judge how much of the reticule is obscured before you fire, just in case you might hit them instead of the target. Angelina's backing up to get some distance between her and her original firing position so that she doesn't get spotted or taken out. The Viz-55 is being obliging. He's gone up on top of the hill. He's trying to get that Type 61. Angelina can upset that. And she does. 67 hit points, but unfortunately our Type 61 did get killed. But Angelina got the last laugh because the Viz-55 died to our SU-130 PM. Now we're 3 up on the enemy. She's having a good game. It's not going to be a huge game in terms of damage, but she will get more. And the Batchat's come back. So she's going to drop a round in on him, see if she can upset him. Oh my gum! She's dropped it right on top of him. And she's got a second kill of the game. That was fantastic. The round just seemed to skim over the ground, went right onto his turret, and being as he was a very thin-skinned French medium tank, it just couldn't stand that sort of shell hitting him directly, so he's out the game. And that's a really good kill, that one, because that guy was being a plain nuisance to everyone. And she's just got another direct hit on the Wizzy 11114. So I think Talon's lead is seriously in jeopardy now. Angelina's having a superb game. She does exactly the same as Talon. She maximises the amount of damage she can do by firing on the next target as soon as there's a shell available. This could be a pen shot because she's going after an enemy M40, M43. Rounds out. If this hits the target, well, it killed the target. It didn't actually hit it. It splashed it. RNG said no. The shell went to one side. And as a consequence, she didn't get a pen off it, but it didn't really matter because she overwhelmed it with splash. And there's only 2 enemies left now, that Wizzy 11114 and the GSOR 1008. And Angelina's decided she's headed for the cap area. In fact, she's going to see if she can get a shot on the route. She's lining up, getting as far down this side as she can so she can shoot the round right up over the rock towards the Wizzy 111. Who's now the last enemy vehicle. She's going to try and shoot right over the top of the donut. She's trying to get into a position, looking at the map, trying to see, you know, can I get a direct line of sight between me and the Wizzy? I think she's got it. Okay, let's have a look. Yes, she can hit him. Okay, now he's behind the house, so... Oh! She was just dialing in. That would have been her last shot of the game, but it's all over and it's a victory. 3 kills. So the second game of the week was a win for Angelina75 in the 212A. She got a 3rd class tanker out of this game, which matches Talon, and she got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 8 in this one. But she didn't get any medals, and that means Talon is still in the lead, even though she had a great game. And she got a really good win rate as well, 2,218, but I'm afraid that wasn't as much as Talon, because his game had 2,706. Oh, I'm looking at this now. Actually, no, I'm looking at this and I'm saying Talon's in the lead, only by his win rate, because he didn't get a Confederate, whereas Angelina didn't get one either. So they're both matching, but Talon actually is just ahead of her on win 8. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage in the game in this one was the Wizzy 111 Model 14, who had 3,167 hit points. The second highest damage was the Barask on our team with 2,978. And the third highest damage went to the Type 61 with 2,742, which makes Angelina the fourth highest on damage with 2,055. When it came to kills, Angelina scored the top spot with 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Brass, the ST1 and the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, and the Wizzy 111 Model 14, the K91 PT and the M53 M55 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it was the Brass who did the best with 1,389. The SU-14-2 managed to get 1,176, and that's mainly because he was firing at higher tier opponents, tier 10 and tier 9. And every time he hit one of them, he was actually getting extra XP. 10% extra for a tier 9, 20% extra for a tier 10. And as a consequence, he racked up a higher score than Angelina, even though Angelina scored more damage than him. Yes, so yes, he was taking the advantage of being bottom tier. 851 XP went to the Skoda T56, and you can see Angelina a little way down the table, bit mid-table, with 760. It's not bad, because it's actually better than all of the enemy team, but I'm afraid, yes, it's not enough to get the high score. She fired 10 rounds in this game, got 4 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetration. Of course, that penetration was definitely that Scorpion right at the start of the game. Look at that, 855 hit points off a penetrating shot right into him. Perfect, fully dialed in. No chance that guy was going to get away with it. And of course, the fact that it's very thin armor on these tank destroyers makes sure that if you do get a penetrating shot, you actually get a huge amount of hit points. And it's very satisfying as well. So she also got 6 splashes in the game, damage of 2,055 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters, damage 6 of the enemy, kill 3, and 295 hit points of stun assist off 4 stuns. On a free-to-play account, she earned 19,842 credits for the battle, 30,000 for completing a mission, 49,842 altogether, and after ammunition resupply, still made a profit of 30,742 credits. 760 base XP times 2 for the first victory took away 1,520 experience points altogether. Let's have a quick look at the armor profile for the 212 again, just to remind you. It's supposed to be a KV-222, a heavy tank. You know, the prototype for the KV-3 originally was one of each type of a T-150 and a KV-222, and the Soviets were trying to make up their mind which one was going to be the one that they actually took on board. It's basically a KV with much heavier armor on the front and rear. So this one, the heaviest armor is actually at the front. It's 75 millimeters. But it's, well, slightly angled, you can see, not much, so you're not getting much more. The plate here is 60 millimeters, it drops a bit there, and on the upper plate there you're looking at 30 millimeters, but well raked back and very difficult to get a pen because it's so well angled. You can see it's heavier armor here, 60 millimeters on the driver's port area, and the actual sides of the vehicle are 60 millimeters. You can see all the way down the side, so it depends on how much pen you've got, but most tier 9s should be able to pen the side of a 212, and the back is the same, 60 millimeters. So fairly solid armor all round compared to some of the other Artys, but still penetratable. Let's have a look at the modules. Okay, there's the module layout. Driver up front, like a KV. We've got the transmission in the front. The engine's directly behind the driver. They've relocated it from the back of the vehicle to the front of the vehicle, and the gun is right in the middle. We've got the fuel tanks directly beneath him, and of course you can get at those by shooting right in the center of the vehicle or just underneath the front of the casement, and that should hit the fuel tanks. If you hit between the tracks at the front, you'll get the engine, and if you hit between the tracks at the back, you get the ammo rack, because there's 2 ammo racks on either side, plus there's a deep store down below. So these are the main ones you want to aim for if you're in a tank. You want to aim for the back of the casement, because that's where the ammo rack is. 2 loaders sitting at the back. We've got the gunner up on the right hand side of the vehicle. We've got the tank commander on the left hand side, the radio operator sitting behind him, And as I said, those two loaders at the back, in between the two ammo racks and bigger ammo racks down below as well. The one saving grace, I suppose, of having two sets of ammo racks is that even if the enemy fires through one of them, you're not going to lose all your shells. You're going to lose some of them if they don't go off, if it just disturbs the shells. But you won't lose as many as you would if you fired a shell through and it hit more than one ammo rack or one big ammo rack. Then you might lose a lot of shells at the same time. But there you go, there's the modules for the 212A. So there's the end of battle results for Angelina. I'm afraid it means that Talon is still in the lead. Yes, he got a win rate of 2,706. Angelina got 2,218. So after the first day's gaming, I'm afraid it's Talon that's in the lead again. So he had a weekend lion last week, and he's on track at the moment to get the weekend lion next week. But we've got more replays to come, so we'll have to see if Angelina can get a better score in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.